How has Russian invasion changed the lives of the people of Ukraine? On February 24, 2022, Russia invaded Ukraine in a major escalation of the Russo-Ukrainian War that began in 2014. Millions of Ukrainians left their beloved country. Neville, a photographer, says, "What I find most remarkable is the resilience of the people there." With the war came unemployment. Nikita teaches choreography to kindergarten children in Kiev. He says, with the war came unemployment. As he was a choreography teacher in a kindergarten, working remotely with children 3 to 5 years old is not possible. His basketball coach left Kiev. His morale was going down as he was running out of money, food, and an uncertain future ahead. He says, even in Odessa, checkpoints have been set up throughout the city. Ukrainians are the most freedom-loving people on the entire globe, and they don't like being controlled. Nikita plans to return to Kiev and start teaching and training and hopes it will help him recover. He says, the main thing is to maintain moral principles and remember that together we are a great force. The gymnastics instructor at an athletic center for children in Luhansk sounds very optimistic. She says, "We had some shelling recently, after lunch, but when we put the music on you can't hear a thing." Asami, a business administration undergraduate, went to get ready for a run and was on the balcony stretching when a missile struck, reminding her of the reality. She says, she feels energy depleted, the war does have a toll on you. A hotelier in Odessa says, her only customers now are journalists and she is grateful that it helps her meet her basic needs. She says, out of her 10 close friends, only 2 are staying behind, all others have left Ukraine. Larissa, a science teacher, is conducting classes online for her students. She says, students are optimistic, though they have to hide in shelters each time the siren rings. But they have found a way to press forward. Ukrainians are carrying on even as their homes are turned into war zones. Petrol has become a precious commodity because of Russian airstrikes on Ukraine's major oil refineries and storage facilities. People typically have to wait in line for hours to get just 20 liters. One of the striking features is the absence of cars in Kiev, which usually has major traffic congestions. Now people can park anywhere they want. Public spaces are also noticeably quieter. The most jarring difference is the almost total absence of children. There are no mothers pushing prams or noisy kids running around. Kiev seems lonelier without them. In Kiev, there are signs that the city is coming back to life. Daily curfew has been relaxed and the frequency of public transport has increased. In neighboring villages, the Russian soldiers had looted all the houses. One village resident returns to his village to check the condition of his home. He says the damage in his village as a whole was far less than the destruction elsewhere. None of the houses in the village were burned down or destroyed in the fighting. The neighboring village of Bogdanivka was far less fortunate, where the Russian army shot dead around 40 people and destroyed many homes. He says the people in his village were busy repairing roofs and mending fences. They were eager to put behind the horrors of the Russian occupation and get rid of anything that reminds them of that horrific period. Meanwhile, the steady flow of returnees continues. Kiev Mayor Vitaly Klitschko says, mobile phone data indicates that in March the population of the capital city dropped from 3.5 million to around 1 million people. But by May, it has risen to 2.2 million people. Every day, thousands more people are returning. How is the world supporting the people of Ukraine? The UN says that, as of June 21, more than 5.2 million refugees from Ukraine have been recorded across Europe and more than 3.5 million have applied for temporary residence in other countries like Russia, Poland, Moldova, Romania, etc. These nations have open borders with other EU countries. According to UN, there are more than 780,000 Ukrainians in Germany, almost 380,000 in the Czech Republic and 137,000 in Italy. The EU has granted Ukrainians the automatic right to stay and work throughout its 27 member nations for up to 3 years. They are given food and medical care and information about onward travel. They are entitled to social welfare payments and access to housing, medical treatment, and schools. People in the UK can nominate an individual or family to stay with them rent-free for at least 6 months. Refugees who come via the scheme can live and work in the UK for up to 3 years, and get access to healthcare, welfare, and schools. Ukraine's border force had previously said people were crossing back into the country at a rate of about 30,000 a day. Some are returning Kiev, which is now considered safer. People who have survived have tried to carry on with life through constant air raid sirens and a feeling of danger. After war, many people left, it's quiet, but people who chose to remain are carrying on.